Okay, welcome back. We got the market, which is up about 113 odd points or so, looking pretty solid. As promised, we have the management of Cholamandalam Investment joining us right now. Mr. Velayan Subbiah is chairman of the company. He's joining us to take some questions. So thanks very much. Good to have you here with us. Sir, I mean, the critique for your numbers seems to be that operating costs and provisions have gone up substantially. And this has led to a profit after tax miss as compared to what expectations were. Can you start there, sir? What happened?
Yeah, the two things. One is obviously we've taken an additional provision for COVID of 350 crores. With that, our total COVID provision is now up to 1,100 crores. And we've taken that predominantly because, we are anticipating, that, the COVID second wave, obviously, which is upon us, is going to create some disruption. We've always been very prudent and safe, so we like to keep a high level of provision for this. And that's been the predominant factor. On the operating cost side, I think the only thing driving it really for us has been the fact that, we had held back incentives and kind of the pay structure in the first 3 quarters of the year because of COVID. And because last year then kind of, Q4 ended fairly well, we chose to basically provision that as well into Q4. So that's what caused the operating cost increase. So that's basically what caused the two cost movements over there, basically both in terms of provision and in operating.
Mr. Subbiah, morning. So your total excess provisions stand at about 1,100 crore rupees as of now.
Right.
What are you baking in terms of the stress in your portfolio? Your gross NPAs have increased even in Q4. In the month of April as well as the first half of May, the stress has only gone up. So what is your own expectation of the slippages, when you have baked in this kind of provisioning?
Yeah, so it's obviously very difficult to predict right now, right? I mean, the current scenario we're working on is that kind of, that April and May will be bad and then things will begin to turn in June. But we still, think it'll take at least, kind of July, August for it to kind of get close to, anywhere where it was, kind of pre-second wave. Now, part of the challenge is nobody actually knows how this thing is going to play out. So our approach to this has always been let's be safe. Let's just ensure that we basically kind of provide enough so that if we kind of, if things do get bad, we're kind of good South Indians. We prefer to play safe from that perspective. So, but it's very difficult to your question to actually be able to say what's going to happen, because beyond this month, it's very difficult to say what next month's going to be like in this current environment.
No, got that. Compared to the pre-COVID level provisioning, what you carry now is, double of that.
Correct.
Could you, without getting very very specific or fixated with the number, should we expect? Again, my question is in the direction of what my colleague asked. Just some estimate would help. How to think about this?
Yeah, so I would generally believe that we are adequately provisioned right now. Right, that is our belief. Right? That based on all of the data we've seen, we're adequately provisioned right now. Right, so we've got more than what we need right now in terms of provisioning. So with the standard caveat of nobody knows how this thing is going to play out because we've never seen it before. That is my belief that we are adequately provisioned right now. I don't know that answers the question.
What is your own estimate? How many of?
Yeah.
We're going to go with the line that you feel you're adequately provisioned as of now, sir. But in the month of April, as well as the early part of May, what was the increase in AUM and the disbursement?
No, so more of the AUM focus, right? Because right now we're not that AUM focused, right? Or building AUM focus. We're much more focused on collections and collections efficiency. And I would say kind of, we did see a collections efficiency drop in April. But that's also normal compared to kind of March. But I would say it was basically kind of obviously sharper than we expected. The first 10 days of April were fairly normal, and then it did become a bit sharper than expected. But in terms of in terms of disbursement and book growth, that's not going to be a huge focus for us this year, just because we want to ensure that the book kind of is, behaving well in terms of collections efficiency. I would say kind of we've got about like 5% month on month is what we basically would have seen from that perspective. Disbursements.
And of course, now we've got a lockdown in Tamil Nadu for 2 weeks, right? I mean, so so I guess in some time you'll have a better idea in terms of how collections, etc., pan out for this month.
Absolutely.
I mean,
we've seen April data.
Starting. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. Obviously Tamil Nadu is, we have a fairly distributed portfolio, so we don't have a huge concentration in any particular place. But yeah, Tamil Nadu lockdown, and most of the south is gonna, it seems to be spiking now. It's definitely going to affect things.
Mr. Subbaiah, thank you very much for your time. Great to have you with us here. Appreciate your thoughts as always here on CNBC TV 18. Speak with you soon again, sir. We're out of time, so have to wrap up.